Aadya, we're doing this video a lot earlier than we planned to. What a morning that was for England. India began it on 215 for 2 with two batsmen that had batted so well yesterday. Cheteshwar Pujara was unbeaten on 91, closing in on his first Test century since January 2019, while Virat Kohli was finally finding his touch in the series. But the big caveat was that England were going to begin today with the new ball. Boy, were they good. I mean, Anderson at one end and Robinson at the other. And it was a Test newbie who stole the day, taking 4 to finish with his second Test fifer. India collapsed, losing 8 wickets for just 63 runs, not 26 runs. The series is now level at 1-1. We've got 2 tests to come, and what a series we've got in store. Aadya, let's just begin with Robinson, playing his 4th Test, but he's just looked at home at Test level from day one. He really stole the show this morning. I mean, what impressed you most about the way he bowled?
Yeah, wonderful start to his career. I think he is hitting the right lens from the get-go, and he did not look flustered one bit. Bowling against the likes of Pujara and Kohli. I think what impressed me the most was in that one over when Kohli hit him for 2 fours, and he stuck to his plan and he got Kohli out. So yeah, really good prospect for England.
Yeah, I mean he's with Broad going out as well. I mean he's really become Anderson's partner in crime, and the two have already kind of struck something up there with the new ball. More crucially, though, Aadya, what did you make of India's batting?
Yeah, if you say it was pretty poor, the India fans have kind of gotten used to seeing time and again this team collapse. Wickets falling in a flurry. But nothing can take away how good England were, how good the seamers were, hitting the right lens and really testing. But yeah, if you look at it, it was not really great how India lost a bit of the momentum that they gained at the end of day 3. And I think now that you think about it, a few things are sort of a concern. One being the form of some of the batsmen, and then the discussion around the overall composition of the team and how it goes from here on.
Yeah, I mean, the balance of the India lineup has been discussed quite a lot. And after that second Test, with the way Sharma and Bumrah had batted, there's maybe those concerns about how the tail might go. It's sort of, they'd gone away, but they feel like they're slightly, starting to return now. I mean, how do you see India going forward in the series? I mean, Kohli's talked about his template, but, do you think that he needs to adapt now? I mean, I imagine the calls to get Ashwin in there are going to grow louder ahead of this next Test.
Yeah, actually, even after the end of this Test, Kohli said that this template works, and they'll take a call obviously closer to the next match. But I do feel that India can get in one more proper batsman, especially because even though the 4 fast bowlers thing works, the only thing is that neither of those bowlers are really good with the bat, and the Lord's Test wasn't really an indication of how they can be over a consistent period of time. So that sort of feeling is there always, that hesitation at the end that, the tailenders might not be able to give you as much as you want. And maybe someone like a Hanuma Vihari who, can also bowl some off spin. So if you are not able to fit in someone like Ashwin, you have an option in Vihari to, help out the specialist bowlers when they are tired and just bring in some variety. So yeah, given how the batsman did, maybe there's the need to bring in one batsman, and I've always been an Ashwin fan. So if that can happen, I feel he can be a match winner on any surface.
So what are you thinking? Where does Vihari at 6? I mean, does Jadeja go out then for Ashwin? What's the plan?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of tricky. You might have to drop one of your quick bowlers. You might have to have a quick think on a deep conversation with Rahane maybe. But like maybe something as drastic might not happen. Rahane would still stay, I feel. But yeah, I think maybe one of those changes, maybe, there's one more thing that can happen is possibly bringing in someone like Shardul Thakur, who provides a little bit more with the bat. Yeah, for me, I think one thing that could be is maybe having one seamer less and bringing in Ashwin. That for me would be the priority, at least on a surface for the next test, which I guess would be more assistant to more conducive to spin, I guess.
Yeah, and just let's just have a quick conversation on Rishabh Pant, who is such a gloriously talented cricketer. We all like him going, but he's just not. He's not finding that touch in the series. I mean, at 6, does that feel? It's weird to say, but does that feel too high? Because it's almost the case where Jadeja's really looking the part. And I mean, would you ever consider maybe even swapping those two in that lineup? I wonder if that's something India could explore, because Pant at 7 feels a freer role for him, and Jadeja's really showing. Jadeja can show that responsibility with the bat. You've written about his batting, his batting exploits before. I mean, is that something? Do I sound ridiculous saying that?
No, it's actually not as ridiculous if you think about it, because Jadeja has really improved as a batsman. And the most important thing about him is that he's gotten very solid with his defense, and that's something which is still sort of lacking with Pant. And I guess bringing Pant at 7 gives him a little bit more of freedom, as you mentioned. And that's the sort of role we expect from Pant. We cannot change a batsman like him. There's no one going to tell him that you have to slow down or play defensively. That's not going to happen with Pant. So I think it's a realistic thing to maybe swap those two, but can also consider a specialist batsman.
And just looking back on the performance from England as a whole, I mean, it's incredible how one match has suddenly changed the feeling around the series. I mean, England brought in Dawid Malan and Craig Overton for this match, and both delivered. I mean, Malan hit 70 in his comeback. Overton, playing his first test in 2 years, 6 wickets, runs with the bat too. Aseem Hamid is finding his touch. The lost boy of English cricket is well and truly back, it seems. And Joe Root just can't stop scoring runs. I mean, all of a sudden England are smiling again. So Aadya is 1-1. We've got 2 matches to play. Which way is the series going?
I am really bad at predictions, so I have no idea where this one will go. But I do think that after this match, England sort of have an advantage. But anything can happen. But I do feel that I would give England sort of the. For me, I think I feel that they'll do well this time. Right. They'll end up wrapping up the series. What do you think?
Well, I wrote after Lords that this is India's series, and I'm gonna try and stick to my word. I'm gonna still say that this India side is a quality side, and they have it in them to bounce back. They bounced back in Australia. Remember, they were bowled out for nothing there, and then they ended up winning a series in spectacular style. So I wouldn't rule them from still taking this series home. But let's leave it there. Thanks, Aadya, for joining me. What a morning. Cool.